Welcome back to the Spoonie Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoonie Stitcher. You're inside the stitchery, and I'm so happy you're here today. It's Film Friday. This is not a crochet video. This is me talking about films you've either never heard of or you've forgotten about. I just like classic film. So if you want to talk classic film with me, please stay. And if not, then I'll see you on another crochet video. But thanks for stopping by. So today's film was a request from one of you, and it's funny because I had it on my list to cover. Anyway, today's videos are Clue and Radioland Murders. Now Clue you might have seen. A lot of people have seen Clue. If you don't know, it's based on the board game. You know, a bunch of people get an anonymous invite to a house on a hill during a thunderstorm, then get stuck with a murderer in the house. It is a comedy. It's not scary, not a bit. It's got so many fabulous actors. It actually was pretty modern for its time, and I love the alternate endings. So like you get to decide which one's true. I think that's awesome. So I wonder which ones they actually showed in theater, because I first saw it when it was a, this is going to show my age, VHS. VHS tape. Yeah, so I first saw it when it was a VHS tape. So I had all the endings, and I love, I think it's the last one. I think that was my favorite. This movie is hilarious. You've got a cast of thousands. It is amazing how many people they got to be in this movie, including the beloved Dr. Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati. But of course, his actual name is Howard Hessman, and he passed away recently, and he has a very bit part, but I love that he's in this movie, even for a second. Just, when he shows up on screen every time, my heart just goes, aww. The butler is Tim Curry. This is one of Tim Curry's best roles, if you ask me. He was hilarious. One of my favorite things about this entire movie is his facial expressions. Even when he's not saying anything, his face says it all. Just fantastic. If you're a Murder, She Wrote fan, the actress who plays the maid was in 2 Murder, She Wrote episodes. One as the, senator's wife, or, I don't know, he was rich. I don't remember. But anyway, the character's wife, and the other one, she is a very eager cop. So, she was in that. And then, of course, you have the main cast, which is Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, Eileen Brennan, Leslie Ann Warren, and then Wadsworth the butler is Tim Curry. But there are people who show up at the door, and they are also bit actors, but you've seen them in things. This movie is hilarious, funny, oh my gosh, witty. The one-liners in this film. I think everybody knows about the flames. I think everybody knows that one. One of my favorites is, so they move a body, and they ask Wadsworth, why'd you put him in there? And he goes, I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy. Brilliant. Brilliant. There's lots of really fast lines in here too. It's just so great. It's like you have to catch it fast, but it's because they move on. But it's really great. Like when the Miss Peacock asks the maid, "Where's the powder room?" He's like, "Is it just down the hall?" And she goes, "Oh yes, oui, madame." And she goes, "Oh no, thank you. I just want to powder my nose." Get it? Anyway, fantastic movie. 10 out of 10. One of my favorite movies of all time, bar none. Okay, moving on. You've probably not seen Radioland Murders, which is a shame because it is hilarious. Fun enough, it also has Michael McKean. But he's not nearly as big a part in this one. He's a band leader. Oh, I just thought of that. The sound effects guy, the Foley artist, he is Christopher Lloyd. I just thought of that. So Christopher Lloyd and Michael McKean are both in this. And they're in Clue. All right, sorry. Tangent. This is about a radio station that is trying to put on a live radio broadcast. So in the 40s, and I think the 50s as well, they used to put on like production live radio broadcast, and you could sit in the audience and watch actors and stuff perform. They, stand in costume at a mic and do the presentation that people are hearing on the radio. They also would have live bands and stuff, and they'd be in costume, and in all their commercials and stuff, people would be in costume. And so if you were in the audience, you could see what the rest of the world is hearing, which is kind of cool. And I kind of wish they still did that. Isn't that cool? I think that's awesome. But anyway, so Mary Stuart Masterson, whom you might know from the movie Benny and June, or she was also a recurring character on NCIS, she plays Penny. Penny is the general. He's the owner of the radio station, but he likes to be called the general. The general's right-hand man. She does everything for him, but she's a woman. And this is the 40s. So, she's dressed like a secretary, talked to like a secretary, and he leaves Penny in charge. Her husband, Roger, is the head writer. He and Penny are having marital issues. Terrible timing, but they are. He wants to win her back. She thinks something happened with him and the star of the radio program. And so he's trying to convince her nothing happened, and she's, there are some themes in here that are not totally children appropriate, okay? But Clue as well. But I think it'll go over most kids' heads, honesty, because I saw it when I was a kid, and I didn't even catch it until I got older. I was like, oh, that's what they meant. So Roger is trying to win Penny back, and Penny's like, I'm busy, I'm trying to do all this. Can we talk about this later? By the way, in the big, the box, like the owner's box. The owner's box is like one of the most important radio founders ever. And so everything has to go perfectly tonight. And then in another room is the general with all the sponsors. Okay? So 2 huge groups of people that need to see a perfect radio broadcast. Yeah, they're not going to see that. Because Roger goes back to the writing room to get the script. The writers were not being paid. Yes, I know how interesting that particular plot line is right now, but they cause a bit of a scene. And Roger's like, we can't let Penny down. Remember Penny, Penny, the one who is, your most supportive person, all this kind of stuff. And they're like, yeah, and your wife. He goes, yes, okay, I would like to win my wife back, but also, can't we do this for Penny? Minutes before they air, Roger is furiously trying to write out everything, and he's got a little, he's dressed like a bellhop, but he's not a bellhop. He's just like I think he's an usher or something. Anyway, they use him as like the errand boy. So Roger writes a few pages and sends it to the actors and Penny really quick. And remember, no computers. So he's handwriting and like typing on the typewriter furiously. And of course, if he makes a mistake. But the most important part of this entire movie, people start dying and they can't let the audience know, or the sponsors, or I think his name is Mr. King, Mr. King in the box, they can't let anybody know that people are dying. So they've got a serial killer on the loose. They've got a live broadcast, which, the only commercials they've got are the ones that they can do live. So they've only got so much filler and stuff. It's not like they can just cut to commercial and put in a tape and stuff. No. So they've got a serial killer on the loose. They've got no script. And they've got 2 huge groups of people they have to impress. This is Penny's first, mission. And a live audience. They cannot let know there's a murderer in the building. Come on. Doesn't that sound like a good movie? So funny. If you don't like, the horror movies or the psychological thrillers or anything like that, this is such a comedy. Both of them, they are so comedies. There's murder in both, but they're funny murders, especially Radioland Murders. The way everybody dies is kind of funny. This is another one that has an amazing cast. Just go look on IMDb and look at everybody. I can't even mention everybody who's in this movie. You've got Corbin Burnson from Psych or LA Law. You've got Michael McKean. You've got Christopher Lloyd. You've got the guy who plays Max. I can never remember his name, but he's in everything. So many people in this movie. Just amazing. And they're either there for a minute or forever. Harvey Korman from The Carol Burnett Show. He's in this. I mean, everybody's in this movie, and hardly anyone has ever seen this movie, which I just think is sad. But anyway, go watch these movies. Both of them are hilarious. I don't know if you can stream them anywhere. That's not true. Actually, I know that Clue is on Amazon Prime. Radioland Murders, though. But go find it. It's so funny. And again, it has great lines as well. I love movies that are super quotable, and my whole family, we do movie sound bites to each other all the time. I hope you liked this Film Friday. I hope you are okay that I did 2 movies. I hope that's okay. But I thought that was kind of appropriate because they're kind of similar. Didn't realize that they have similar actors in them too. And I just remembered Christopher Lloyd. I remember Michael McKean, but I just remembered Christopher Lloyd is in both. So that's interesting. But yeah, I highly recommend both of these. They're so worth keeping around and watching year after year. So funny. But I was requested to do Clue by a few of you, and I was going to do that anyway because I love Clue. But I had to do Radioland Murders because that's one that I don't think as many people have seen, and I think that's a shame. So thank you so much for joining me for Film Friday. I hope you love it. No Film Friday next week because it's Spirit Week. So I'm only doing 1 video. Also, tonight, please join me at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central. I'm going live. It's my birthday party, so I want you all to come. So I hope you see this in time. But I did announce it other places. But if you're watching this video early enough, then you can catch it. So please come tonight. I would love to have you there. Let's talk, let's chat. I've got a surprise too. So thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye.